Today we're going live with Nate. He has a very interesting ebook in the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle. So I want to ask him all about it, about cracking and spreading and what is that all about. Remember, the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle is taking place right now until 11th of May, 11:59 p.m. PST. So it's only 2 days left to get it. Yeah, alright. Let me just pin the comment first. Yeah. And pin the comment and then native. Alright. Let's get this part going. Hey Nate!
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Good to
good.
see you.
Yeah, you too, you too. How you doing?
Yeah. I'm okay. Yeah, I've
Yeah?
been making oh, we tried the we made the raw vegan pizza from Melanie's copycat handbook yesterday. So yeah,
Oh,
that was fun. There was a lot of
oh
fun.
man. I bet. I bet. How was it? Super delicious or what?
Yeah, yeah, Us loved it. He totally loved
Mm,
it. Yeah, yeah. I made
yeah.
this. They had like salami, and then it was interesting. The crust had actually carrots in it as well, oats and carrots. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like a good kind of hearty crust?
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. That is so good. So good. So what is it? Is it morning for you right now?
It's morning. It's 9 in the morning
Yeah.
for me right now. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
I've
good
done all.
morning.
Thank
Top
you.
top of the morning to you.
Yeah, thank you. Later I will be making my green smoothie bowl for breakfast, but I thought
Mm.
we'll talk about cracking and spreading today before that.
I love it. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I love the title of your book. It's so sexy and rebellious and sensual.
Yeah. I'm glad you got that. I'm glad that you picked up on that. Yeah.
So much personality.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe you want to talk about that. What's like, because I told people we're talking about cracking and spreading today. What's that all about, Nate?
Oh man, well, it's a metaphor. It could be used in different aspects of your life. Um, but no, I mean, when you make the crackers and you score them and you dehydrate them, then afterwards, like you're cracking the crackers,
Yeah,
you're breaking them, and then of course you're spreading, the pate or the dip or the hummus or whatever may be on your cracker, the cheese, and
yeah.
then you can't just have one, so you have to
Yes.
repeat the process, right? But it's a metaphor. You could use it however you like in your life.
True, true. Yeah. So yeah, your ebook in the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle has so many recipes. Yeah, it's not just
Yeah.
crackers. Yeah. So yeah, maybe you want to tell us more about it.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I originally my intention was to have a book called Sprouted Breads and Spreads. And
Mm,
I didn't get a chance to make the bread recipes. And of course, I
right.
wanted those to be awesome. I mean, I live with Lissa, and all of her recipes are like super banging perfect. So I can't have just some sloppy, messed up, funky recipe out there. It has to be golden.
Yeah.
So I didn't make the bread recipe. So I was like, well, I'm going to stick with the crackers because I'd already originally, pictured putting crackers in there.
Yeah.
And of course, you can't just have a cracker. Like you have to have a topping for the cracker, whether it be some kimchi or sauerkraut and some sprouts or
Yeah.
a slice of tomato and avocado. So there's a lot of things that we have that we eat that are like perfect spreads, like making the tuna fish
Mm,
or there's some pates that I didn't include in there, but you can make like, kind of fun, like nut or like, using some root vegetables and different things to
yeah.
make kind of a pate spread.
Yep.
So I wanted to
Yep.
put that in there. And then if hummuses, of course, are really fun, like crackers and
Mm,
hummus are super fun.
yeah.
Different dips. It's nice to have dips just to be able to dip your vegetables. And of
Yes.
course,
Yes.
like I didn't put a lot of vegetables in the pictures, Like there's some pictures with some vegetables, but I
Mm-hmm.
do put in every recipe like pair this with vegetables,
Ah,
fresh
okay.
vegetables. So that way you're not just like eating so many crackers because,
Mm,
crackers can be really fun and delicious and easy to eat a lot of. But yeah, I
yeah.
wanted to give a nice wide variety. So hummuses, there's dips, there's
Mm-hmm.
like pate spreads,
Yeah.
there is cheeses,
Cheeses.
yeah, there's five cheese
Yeah.
recipes in there. And of course, like really the way that it works is you make the base, like you get
Mm-hmm.
the base dialed, and then you can just add different things to make it flavored different.
Mm,
So
yeah.
it's kind of only like one cheese recipe, but you can flavor it different ways to get a different effect out of
Yeah.
those other cheeses. And then I put also our chickpea salad and the veg salad in there, which
Mm-hmm.
are so good. It's like a tuna fish salad, one is, which is a sprouted, um, a candleized chickpea, we like to call it. It's a sprouted candleized chickpea. So
Candleized.
what candleization means for ever who is listening in, candleizing, our friend Chris Kendall taught us to freeze, like, say, cauliflower or carrots, sliced up carrots, freeze them. And then when you thaw them out, since water expands when you freeze it, it expands the walls of the cell. Kind of, when it thaws, it makes it a little more relaxed. So it's almost kind of like it's steamed. And I don't know who he learned it from. I'm sure it's been done before in history, but he's who we learned it from. So we were like, yeah, we got
Yeah.
to kendalize it. So that's freezing and thawing sprouted
Yeah.
chickpeas to make this chickpea salad. And it's really good. Yeah, it's such a great thing to have. Just you don't have to have a cracker. You could put it on lettuce, you could put it in your wraps, you could put it in sushi, you could put it on the pizza. Like it's a really fun one. And then I put a couple of guacamoles in there. One is like a standard, my famous guacamole, and then
Ah, yeah.
in a little backstory, like for years and years, I'd go to places, whatever, gatherings, or we'd go rafting. I'd always be the guy making guacamole. I'd always bring some guacamole because everybody loves guacamole.
Ah, okay.
And so I make guacamole, and it just became this thing where I started to kind of add a few more things to it. So um, it's called Nate's Famous Guacamole. And then there's
Oh,
the pea guacamole, which is like a lower fat guacamole made out of sprouted and shelled, candleized English peas. So that's a really fun one too. So yeah, you're not just getting crackers in the book. I can't remember how many cracker recipes I have. I've got 12 or 13, somewhere in there.
let me
And
see if
there
I
was a
can.
couple that didn't make it into the book. Like I had corn chips and I was going to do a couple different salsas, but I didn't make
Oh,
those. I didn't get those into the book. Um, but all of these recipes, another thing I really wanted to focus on was having them fast to make, because that's
mm,
always the biggest thing. Some people are like, I don't want to read this elaborate recipe and spend all this time making something, gourmet. But of
yeah,
course, like Lissa has been showing on her lives, it doesn't take very long to make sushi. It's like, 15, maybe 20 minutes. So that's like kind of a standard time for most meals, really. But these crackers essentially, and the cheeses and all the dressings and dips and stuff, or not the dressings, but the pates, all of them should take you right around 15 minutes or so to make. So fairly quick.
oh
But
yeah, I
yeah,
saw you timing yourself on
yeah.
how to make it the other day. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, because I had a
yeah.
couple people be like, "Oh man, this probably takes so long," and I'm like, it's probably faster than making a box of macaroni and cheese. Like, come on, guys, like it doesn't take that long. So yeah, that's kind of the story behind the book. I've been wanting to kind of put together a cracker book for years. I've thought about sprouted breads and spreads for years. That book will
Mm,
probably still come, but I need to like really dial in these like sprouted bread recipes because
yeah,
making bread raw vegan is pretty tricky to get it
yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
There actually for those who got the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle who are getting the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle, there is a very easy and straightforward bread recipe in the bundle. You know Lena?
Yeah, I
Ah,
saw
so
that.
so Lena has is giving her access to her platform called Nourished, and you get access to a platform for 1 whole year. So it has workout videos, it has educational videos, and then it also has recipes, and then there is also a bread section there. So I made her raw vegan tomato bread, and I think that was like
Okay.
what 4 or 5 ingredients, not a lot. There was almond
Yeah.
flour, buckwheat, sprouted buckwheat, psyllium husk, and I think sun-dried tomatoes. I think that's it.
Okay. And they were good.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
and then yeah, you just put it. Yeah, just mix everything together, and after that, put it into not mix, but you process everything.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Right.
if you're using almond flour, but because I didn't have that, I use actual almonds. I ground it up. But anyway, you put it and then put it into a dehydrator, and yeah, very simple, and it's
Love
nice
it.
and soft and spongy. So
Ooh.
yeah, so Asa's been
Yeah.
having it for breakfast, like the past two
Okay.
days. Yeah,
Okay.
it was so funny because yesterday I told him, I said, okay, so today you're having bread and sausages for breakfast. And he was like, wow, I never thought I would hear
Oh,
that.
I love that. I
And
love
then I
that.
was like, tonight you're having raw vegan pizza. And he's like,
Yes.
wow.
That is so good. Oh, heck yeah. It's nice. Sometimes you want some bread, you want like a sandwich or something. The
Yeah,
closest thing I feel like we have got is some of Enzyme's Daniel McKinnon's recipes, his bread recipes. He's got a couple of good ones. And I
mm,
remember we made this like it was the raw vegan bundle 2 years ago. We made his what was that? What was that chicken? Crispy chicken sandwich, I think it was. It was so
right.
good. And it was like a thinly sliced coconut meat, or no, it was actually like a mixture that you dehydrate that it kind of becomes like the chicken, essentially. That bread
Right,
was
right.
good. That was a good bread. So yeah, I'm excited to see Lena's course. I know, and for those listening in, like you
Yeah,
get that in the bundle. She has so many different things in there, so it's not just right? Like recipe books. You're getting different
yeah.
courses. Wendy's got her course and
Fem
access to her,
yeah,
what is it?
feminine. Was it feminine
Yeah,
harmony? Yeah, I think.
feminine harmony. Yeah.
Yeah.
So really cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. And of course, like your stuff. Oh my gosh. We've had a few of your dishes like consecutively. I'm like, all right, we need to eat this more. Like that beef broccoli. Whoa. That was, yeah, the which one? Yeah, the spicy peanut noodles mixed with the cashew chicken. Oh, I was
Oh,
like, I
so
could
good.
eat this. I could eat this like at least every week. Because there's like good ones to
Oh,
rotate in there. But I was like,
yeah.
we need to eat this more. This is so good.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
there's so
Yeah. I saw
so
you
many good
guys.
recipes.
I saw you guys eating it out and making it, eating it. I was like, oh,
Oh
I'm so happy.
man, it tastes so good. We're always really excited to be a part of the bundle and be able to get your book, your creations too, because there's some of the best tasting meals we ever have. This one we were super excited because it's like the Chinese takeout, which that used to be Lissa's like absolute favorite kind of food. So yeah, she did not disappoint, she says back here.
Oh.
Yeah, for
Thank you
real, for
guys.
real.
Thank you. Yeah. So guys, if you're watching my my brand new raw vegan Chinese takeout course has just been launched, and I launched it in the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle, which is taking place right now, but it's ending very soon. It's ending in 2 days. So if you're interested in checking it out, go to the link in either of our bios. And check it out because my course it's actually priced at 50 US dollars, and the bundle is also 50 US dollars.
Yeah.
So you might
Oh,
as well it's a no-brainer, right? You might as well just get
yeah.
the bundle, and you get my
Yeah.
course, you get Nate's ebook, you get Lisa's sushi, yeah, sushi ebook as well, which has 160 recipes. You get access to Lena's platform, and then there's also like I made the Italian sausages by Kate,
Okay. Yeah.
Raw Vegan Mama. She has an ebook for food for kids.
I
Yeah,
saw that. How did that turn out?
yeah. It was good. I was
Was
really
it
like
good?
it. So yeah, he had
Okay.
so he had Lena's bread, and then he had the it together with the the Italian sausages from Kate.
Yeah.
And then I was like thinking like, oh, we need some scrambled eggs. And I totally forgot I actually still had some egg fouillon with me. So I was like, oh,
Okay.
I should have brought that out for him. Then he will have like sausages and bread and eggs. So maybe the next time. Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's fun, man. That's fun. I know there's several in there that I haven't got to make yet. I know Kevin Black is in there and he's got
Ooh,
brec
yeah.
his breakfast sandwich. I'm like, ooh, I really want to make that. That's
Me
good.
too. Me too. Yeah. So there's like the
Yeah.
world favorites ebook, which is
Yeah.
exclusive ebook which you guys won't get
Yeah.
anywhere else except in the raw bundle. And oh, did
Yeah.
I made your salad actually? I didn't have to. I didn't manage to post it up. So in that ebook, you have your spicy fiesta salad,
Oh,
and
okay, you make that.
I
Yeah.
made that. Yeah, I made that some time ago, but I forgot to. I haven't posted it. Yeah, I need to post it. I
Gotcha.
really enjoyed that as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Lisa has her deconstructed sushi recipe. Is that one in the collaboration book, babe? It's
It's in Make It
and
Raw.
make it raw. It's in Make It Raw. That is a really fun dish.
I
Like
made
sushi's
that as
awesome.
well. I made that as
Um,
well. Because I didn't
Isn't
have to
that good?
roll the
Yeah.
sushi. Yeah, I
Yeah.
ate it and
I like it.
I was like, oh, this tastes like sushi without having to roll the sushi.
Yeah. I mean, rolling it's fun and dipping it, chopsticks and everything is like super
Yeah.
fun, but that deconstructed salad was good. I'm like, all right, I like this. This is
Yeah.
for real. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what's so cool. Like the collaboration ebook is exclusive to the bundle. Like you can't get that any other time aside from buying the bundle. And that one's really cool because there's people from all over the world that contribute recipes. And then
Yeah.
Lissa puts the book together. It's always a beautiful book. And you get all kinds of people's, taste profiles from around the
Yeah.
world in these recipes. I love the collaboration books.
Yeah. Guys, if you guys have any questions about the bundle, feel free to leave it in the question mark box and then we'll answer them. But I have some questions for you, Nate. I was wondering, like,
Yeah,
what equipment does one need to make your recipes? Because you were saying that we can make it very fast, right? So yeah. What do people need?
that's that's a great question. So people need simple things like a bowl, a spatula, measuring spoons really help, right?
Mm,
Um, those would be some of the more basic things. Maybe a knife and a cutting board, right, to cut up a
mm,
certain few things.
yeah.
Um, then, of course, you're getting into like some of the bigger equipment, which would be a high-speed blender everybody should have a high-speed blender, but you need
Yeah.
a high-speed blender. Dehydrator to
Right.
make the crackers, you need a dehydrator, and it really helps to have those Paraflex or Teflex non-stick sheets
Mm-hmm.
to put your crackers on. And I find like the offset spatula that we use to make the wraps, that
Yeah.
works really good for smoothing out the dough to kind of get it nice and even. What other things? A coffee grinder, or we like to call it a seed grinder, but a coffee
Mm,
grinder is really handy to be able to grind up your flax and your chia, kind of help stuff gel up a little bit differently than just whole seed.
yeah.
Um, and maybe like some storage containers, right?
Okay.
To store the crackers in or like the spreads and stuff. The stuff should last for like at least a few days. Some last longer than others. It starts to, like raw food, it's perishable. So it starts to ferment and break down after, several days. The cheese, of course, like you could let the cheese go for like weeks. Really, it's still
Mm,
pretty good weeks later. And the crackers will last for months if they're in a, airtight container. I've had crackers on the shelf for like 3 months, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try one. I'm like, dang, it's still like it doesn't taste stale or anything. So but those would probably be the main things I feel like that a food processor can be really handy, but you could do everything in your blender. Food
mm.
processor is another great kitchen tool. There are some recipes that I do. I put in there like food processor or blender,
Ah,
but
okay.
the food processor you get different texture than the blender, right? You can get like
Mm,
a more chunky kind of texture.
right,
Um,
right.
and there's some specialty things that are really nice to have. Like it's nice to have the Kalinamak salt,
Mm,
and
yeah,
that's like the black sulfur salt.
yeah.
Um, and that gives it, the egg salad, the chickpea
Yeah.
salad, the veg salad kind of gives you that egg
Yeah.
vibe, and the dried miso. That's like another kind of, specialty ingredient that really, kind of like adds a little extra
Yeah.
to your cracker or your spread. Yeah, but I think
I'm
that's about it.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering if I don't have any dried miso, can I just use fresh miso? Would that work?
Yeah, you could totally use fresh miso, and it'd
Okay.
probably be best to like maybe whisk it in some water first.
Oh,
Like
okay.
use the water, like most of the recipes are around a quarter cup,
Mm-hmm.
or more of water, quarter cup, half cup, maybe 1 cup, depending on the recipe. So if you were to use regular miso, which is going to be delicious and cheaper, just yeah, whisk that into the water, and then when
Okay.
it calls to add the water, then it's already mixed and it'll be a nice even spread. But yeah.
Ah, that's a
hmm
good tip. Thank you for that.
I don't know if I
Yeah.
put that. I don't know if I actually wrote that out in the book. I don't think I did. That's a really good. That's there's always something. I'm like, dang it, I should have put that in the book. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you have updated version, you can put that
Yeah,
in.
right, right. Be like, hey, it's updated.
Yeah.
Mix your miso.
Yeah. So what are some of the ingredients you think that would make like really good crackers and dips?
Mmm, really good crackers and dips. I mean, really, if like the crackers in the book are most of them are seed based. So you're going
Mm-hmm.
to have flaxseed, chia seed, sunflower
Mm-hmm.
seed. There's a couple with some cashews. Those make nice crackers, as like kind of the base.
Yeah.
But I didn't include crackers that are made from pulp. Like if you're into
Ah,
juicing,
okay.
right? You
Yeah.
juice things, you've got the pulp. Pulp crackers are way less in fat because you're not adding as many flax seeds. You can
Mm,
add, some ground chia, maybe a little bit of ground flax to kind of help it gel together. So
yeah.
I feel like pulp crackers can be really good, and you can eat more of them because, they're lower in fat, maybe not get as full. Of course,
Yeah.
any dehydrated food, I am always like suggesting, same with Lissa, and I know you probably do too, drink more water because it
Yeah.
is dehydrated food, so you're going to need to drink more water. But yeah, I feel like in a lot of ways, like if it's not a pulp cracker, like a seed cracker with maybe
Mm-hmm.
some root vegetables in there, like ground up
Mm,
some carrots, some
yeah.
carrots or a beet, these kinds of things,
Yeah.
those can make like really tasty crackers. But typically, the crackers that we make are like the ones that you made too. Did you make
Mm.
those, the sesame crisps, the sesame
I'm
crunch?
gonna make it like well, it'll be my Monday morning, so your Sunday
Okay.
evening. Yeah.
Gotcha. Right, right, right. Yeah. Those ones are really fun. There's not too much flax. There's like a half cup of ground flax. And then there's essentially like 1 cup worth of sesame seeds. So they're
Ah,
pretty
okay.
light. They're
Yeah.
like one of our favorite crackers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun one too. But I would say for anybody who's listening in, who's creative, like there's amazing creative people out there. Maybe you have like you get the idea, the basic recipe down on
Mm,
how to make a cracker or whatever it is that you're making, and you can alter and you can kind of like
yeah.
mess with it and make it your own.
Mm,
So I feel like it's just good to have that foundation, like say for
mm.
your recipes, and you've got this flavor profile that's just like mwah. So once you learn that flavor profile and how to mix certain ingredients to get a good marinade or a good sauce, like you can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
but yeah, I'd say, yeah, either two of those, pulp based or the seed based. You can't go wrong. They're going to be good.
cool, cool. So if someone is making the crackers for the very first time, what do you think they need to take into consideration? Yeah.
Mm, that's a good question. Um, well, first, anytime you make anything for the very first time, it's nice to not have any attachment, right? Like no attachment. It
Yeah.
might turn out, it might not because it's your first time. So always suggest like for someone to read through the entire recipe, get a good visual of what you're supposed to do, and then
Yep.
you read through it again as you get your counter set up with all your stuff, and
Yep.
then you're reading it through it one more time as you're putting it together. So that's 3 times you're reading the recipe essentially as you're
Mm,
making the thing. And I would say like it's good to get in a nice headspace. I always like to get in a good headspace, have stuff nice and clean, throw on some good vibe and music, and just have fun with it. Just have fun with it. No attachment. Like it might not work out, but it probably will. If you follow the recipe to a T, it's going to work out because I've tried them all and they all work. But yeah, I would say that's the biggest thing. And then, of course, go easy on yourself when you're spreading the cracker dough. Take your
Mm-hmm.
time and get it like as perfectly consistent all the way. And most of these recipes are gonna they're gonna fill the this they were designed. We have the Excalibur, the
Mm-hmm.
9 tray, so it's essentially like a 13 by 13 and a half by 13 and a half, 14 by 14 is what it is, but it's not a true 14 inch. But it pretty much
Mm.
takes up that whole tray. Um,
Mm.
so take your time and get it spread. The thinner, the crispier, right? But not too thin to where it's like gonna just flake apart. But
Mm.
yeah, I would say those would probably be the things that I'd focus on.
Yeah, I think the more they make, and then you intuitively kind of know, like
Yeah,
how thin to spread, or yeah,
right.
and
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
it's just
scoring it, read the
mm,
recipe. Whoever's listening, no matter what recipe book you're tapping into, read the recipe because that gives you a good idea of how it's going to be done. I feel like it's kind of tricky to just read the recipe and make it right off the get-go. It's like you read it,
yeah,
you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to get my stuff. And you're reading again to make sure you have all your stuff. You're like, okay, cool, there's all the stuff. Okay, let's make this. You're like, all right, going down again. All right, mix this first, do that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
I always read the
yeah,
recipe many times, and I always thought that
yeah,
I always thought like I was a bit slow because I cannot digest it. But now you say that you read it 3 times, so I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what I
yeah.
do. This is
Right.
the
And it's
minimum I
even
do.
it's even more than 3 times because as you're going through it, like you're
Yeah,
reading it, you're double checking and stuff, making
yeah.
sure you have everything. But yeah, all of the cracker recipes, essentially, like I designed them to where you just mix the ingredients in a bowl, right? You just mix it all, you have your ingredients that you're going to do first, like your seeds, and then you're going to add your flavors, and then you're going to add in your water, and you're going to get it, nice dough, let it sit for, maybe 10 minutes, kind of gel up, and then you scoop
Mm,
that out, big old jelly blob kind of dough
mm-hmm,
onto your thing, and then that's when you're really working it with the spatula. That's really where the time comes in, is like smoothing it out nice and evenly.
mm.
But yeah, it's fun, and having fun, I feel like, is the most important part. Have fun with it.
Yeah, cool, great tips. Thanks so much, Nate. So
Hmm. Heck yeah.
we're coming to the end of the live because I need to go and make my green smoothies for my breakfast. But do you have any last words to say before we go?
Mm. I would say get the bundle because
Yeah,
it's
get
only
that
it's only
bundle.
here for a couple days, and it's just a great tool. It's raw food education. Even if someone is a raw foodie, you're still going to be able to take so many good things from this and up your game, adding different flavors into your life. But I would picture the majority of the people very possibly aren't even raw foodies, like, say full time. Maybe they're 60,
Mm,
70%, but
yeah,
you don't have to be a vegan, you don't have to be a raw foodie to enjoy
yeah,
these recipes. So
true.
I would say get it because it's such a screaming deal. And another thing that's interesting is I was thinking what would be cool maybe for next year's bundle, is to add up all the years of people. Like, I've been raw for 10 years, nearly 10 years. Liz is for 10. How long have you been raw?
Well, I became vegan in 20. Also, okay, it's hard to count because I discovered raw food in 2014. But I
Okay.
became vegan. I started transitioning into veganism in 2015. So
Okay.
I was vegan in 2016. But I
Okay.
went through some phases because it's like, sometimes I eat raw, sometimes I eat cooked,
Sure.
sometimes I eat
Yeah.
100% raw. So, and then now I'm
Yeah, but
high raw. So,
the majority of your calories for the last 10 years essentially have been coming from raw food. Like you've been playing with raw food for like 10 years, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
just between the three of us, that's 30 years. And there's some people like Rick and Karen, Dina, who are also in the bundle.
Mm.
They are each over 30 years, like 35 years. So that's 70. So between the five of us, that's 100 years worth of wisdom that is being poured out into these products. And that's just five of us, and there's 32 products in the bundle. So
Yeah.
essentially, I mean, there's more than 32 people if you were to count everybody in the collaboration ebook.
Yep.
So I'm picturing
Exactly.
there has to be like 400 years of combined knowledge and wisdom,
Wow.
right? When you think about it, right? Doesn't that
Yeah.
make sense? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool in itself, I feel like, because you're tapping into all these different minds, right? Like Chris Kendall, 20, nearly 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Grant Campbell in the book, bundle, same, nearly 20 years. So now we're talking almost 150 years, and that's only seven people. So that's kind of a fascinating take on the
Yeah.
bundle, I feel like. So yeah, that's my last words. I'd say 2 days left. It's always a shame when you got to tell people, sorry, it's over, like. So yeah, get the bundle and have fun with it. Don't go hard on yourself if you are thinking about eating raw food and you want to eat more raw food, maybe even watching the lives. All this kind of stuff is it's great
Great.
for you.
Cool stuff. So remember to
Yeah.
go get cracking and spreading with the bundle.
Yeah.
Click the
Get
links
cracking and
in
spreading.
either yeah, click the links in either of our bundles, either of our bundles. Click the link in either of our bios to
You
get
need
the
you need that
bundle.
You need that green smoothie. See, sugars are starting to drop.
Yeah. Yeah, so thank you everyone for watching, and thank you so much, Nate, for joining us. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell
yeah,
Az we said hello and we love
I
you
will.
guys.
I
Give him a
will.
hug for us. All
Oh,
right.
all right. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.